Some initial milestones for the Aviation Systems Capacity Program have already been accomplished and are currently being tested for future use in airports.
We've all seen helicopters flying around, but do you know how they work? For some answers, we turn to Johnny Alonzo.
For 60 years, the helicopter has been one of the most versatile types of transportation around. They have the ability to fly forward, backwards, sideways, rise and descend vertically, and hover motionless in the air. Helicopters have been credited with saving over 3 million lives by transporting critically wounded people from accidents and war zones. They're also used for things like helping the police fight crime, fighting forest fires, and simple tasks like checking our roadway conditions. But have you ever wondered how helicopters fly? For some answers, I spoke with NASA Langley researcher Mike Watts at the Coast Guard Air Station, Elizabeth City.
Johnny, to really understand how a helicopter flies, first let's go back to a fixed-wing world, a regular airplane, the kind with wings and an engine. Now, a fixed wing has an engine, a jet, or a propeller to push you through the air, and that moves air over the wings, which provides lift that keeps it in the air.
I see.
And obviously from this helicopter, you can see we don't have normal wings, and we don't have a jet or a propeller on it to push you forward through the air. But what you do have is the main rotor blades. You can notice that these are shaped a lot like wings for a fixed wing. The way you get them moving through the air is these rotate around in a circle, and that moves them through the air. They're shaped just like a wing, so that provides a lift force that lifts the helicopter off the ground.
Cool. So you've tapped in on how a helicopter lifts off the ground. Can you explain to me how you control the altitude?
Sure. The way you control the altitude is by generating more lift, or more upward force. And the way you do that is you pitch the rotor blade to a higher angle in relation to the wind. That generates more lift, and that lifts it off the ground. Okay. To go down, you just reduce the angle of the blades. That generates less lift, and the gravity settles you down into the ground.
So this is the main rotor. What is this?
This is called a tail rotor.
Yeah.
As you can see, it looks like a main rotor or a propeller on its side. When you turn the main rotor blades, the body of the helicopter wants to go against the rotation. So if the blades are turning this way, the body wants to go this way. Well, to keep straight, you have to provide something to counter that turn, that force pushing it sideways. So we provide a force that keeps it straight, and that's what the tail rotor provides.
Wow.
If you want to go to the left, you provide more force, and it goes this way. If you want to go to the right, you provide less force, and the torque turns it this way.
So Mike, you briefly explained to us how you keep the helicopter straight. How do you make it go forward?
Well, you make it go forward by providing a force to push it forward. Just like in a regular airplane that has a propeller, the propeller is providing a force to push the airplane forward. We need to provide that somewhere. If you think of the main rotor as a disc in the air, and it's got a force going through the center of it, that's what we talked about as a thrust.
Right.
That holds it in the air. If you tilt it forward a little bit, it's going to pull the helicopter forward. If you tilt it back, it's going to pull the helicopter back. Right. If you want to go sideways, you just tilt it to the side, and it pulls you sideways like that. And so you have the force pulling you backwards, forwards, and sideways.
Sure.
And if you actually take that disc and turn it all the way on its side, it's like a propeller. It's pulling you all the way forwards. And there's a concept being looked at by the Marines now called the V-22 tilt rotor. And that is to turn the rotors on their sides and make them propellers. You get the benefits of going farther and faster for a fixed wing or a regular airplane, and you can take off and land vertically, just like a helicopter.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it. Mike, thanks for coming out and showing us everything about helicopters.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
You got the keys, man?
Oh yeah, let's go fire it up.
Come on, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Alarm? Let's go.